In life, every human being is tested. Some choose the easier path: comfort, dependency, and softness. But softness without awareness can easily become weakness. The world will not stop testing you simply because you wish for it to be gentle. If you do not cultivate strength within, then every challenge will break you again and again. A woman who chooses strength, who chooses courage, who dares to be fearless. She is not unkind, she is not harsh, but she is unshakable. She becomes like a mountain, steady, unmoved by the storms around her. To stop being soft is not about losing kindness, it is about finding your inner power. It is about understanding that true beauty comes from resilience, from the fire within that no one can extinguish. So today, I invite you to stop asking for life to be easier. Instead, decide to become stronger, fearless, and free. Every human being is tested by life. From the moment we open our eyes in the morning until we close them at night, the world places challenges before us. Sometimes these challenges are small and easy to overcome. At other times they are heavy and seem unbearable. And it is in these very moments of difficulty that our true character is revealed. You see, many people hope for life to be soft, for circumstances to always be gentle, for the world to always treat them kindly. But this is not how reality operates. Life is like water, sometimes calm and sometimes stormy, and if you are too soft without strength, you will be swept away by the current. When I speak of softness, I do not mean compassion or kindness. Compassion is strength, kindness is power, but softness without awareness, softness that comes from fear or from avoiding responsibility, this is weakness. And weakness is what the world will use to break you again and again. If your heart is not steady, the first harsh word will wound you deeply. If your mind is not strong, the first obstacle will feel like the end of the road. If your spirit is not cultivated, the first betrayal will make you lose faith in everyone. This is why softness without strength is dangerous. It creates a life of dependency where you wait for others to protect you, to carry you, to fight your battles. But understand this, nobody can carry your struggles for you. Nobody can climb the mountain in your place. Others can encourage you, others can guide you, but in the end, you must be the one to walk the path. To live fully, you must choose strength. And strength is not something you inherit. It is not something given to you by chance. Strength is something you cultivate day after day, with discipline, with awareness, and with courage. Think of a tree. In springtime, the branches are soft, the leaves are tender, the tree seems fragile. But beneath the soil, its roots are growing deep. With each passing season, storms come, winds shake its branches, rains fall heavily, yet the tree stands. Why? Because its roots have grown deep into the ground. A woman who chooses strength is like this tree. On the outside, she may still carry softness, gentleness, grace, but inside, her roots are firm. She is unshakable. The storms of life may bend her branches, but they cannot break her spirit. To become strong is not about becoming harsh. It is not about closing your heart. It is about opening your awareness. When you see clearly that life will not always be kind, you begin to prepare yourself. You train your mind to remain calm when others panic. You train your body to endure when others give up. You train your spirit to trust itself when the world tries to make you doubt. This training is not easy. It demands effort. It demands persistence. It demands that you go beyond the comfort zone where most people choose to remain. But it is in this discomfort that strength is born. Many people believe fearlessness means never feeling fear. That is not true. Fearlessness means you feel the fear, but you move forward anyway. It means you do not let fear dictate your choices. You do not let fear decide the direction of your life. A fearless woman is not one who has no fear, but one who has taught herself that fear is only a signal, not a barrier. It tells you that something matters. It tells you that growth is waiting on the other side. And so, instead of running away, you step into it. Imagine the life of a woman who decides to stop being soft in the way that weakens her. She no longer apologizes for existing. She no longer bends her values to please everyone. She no longer hides her voice because she is afraid of judgment. Instead, she stands tall. She speaks with clarity. She lives with purpose. Her strength does not make her cold, it makes her radiant. Her fearlessness does not make her arrogant, it makes her free. Life respects those who respect themselves. When you choose strength, the world begins to treat you differently. You are no longer seen as someone to be controlled, manipulated, or dismissed. You become someone who cannot be ignored. Someone who commands respect not through shouting or fighting, but through presence. And this presence is born from the decision to cultivate inner power. A woman who chooses courage and fearlessness does not transform overnight. It is not a sudden decision that instantly changes her life. It is a gradual awakening, a process of peeling away the layers of doubt, insecurity, and fear that have been built over years. Society often teaches women to remain agreeable, to avoid conflict, to seek approval, to be quiet when they should speak, to be soft when they need to be firm. These expectations are not given as chains, but if accepted blindly, they become chains nonetheless. They shape the way you see yourself and the way you allow others to treat you. To become fearless is to recognize these invisible chains and to remove them one by one. It requires honesty, because fearlessness begins with looking at yourself without excuses. Where do you still live small because of fear? Where do you silence your truth to avoid judgment? Where do you give away your power just to keep temporary peace? These are not easy questions to ask, because the answers often reveal uncomfortable truths. But growth never comes from comfort. Growth comes from confrontation with reality, even when that reality stings. When fear arises, it usually disguises itself as protection. The mind whispers, "Stay where you are. It is safer here." It convinces you that hiding your voice will avoid conflict, that lowering your standards will keep you from being alone, that not taking risks will prevent you from failing. And so many remain in small, confined spaces their entire lives, mistaking safety for peace. But in truth, safety without freedom is a cage. And no cage, no matter how comfortable, can give you a fulfilling life. Fearlessness is not reckless behavior. It is not about ignoring consequences or denying risks. It is about acknowledging the risks, feeling the fear in your body, and still making the choice that aligns with your values. It is about realizing that courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. You carry the fear with you, but you do not allow it to be the driver of your life. It sits in the passenger seat while your inner strength takes the wheel. A fearless woman becomes aware that she does not need to wait for perfect conditions before she acts. If you wait until you are completely ready, until the fear disappears, you will wait forever. Action itself is what builds confidence. Action itself is what reduces fear. Every time you step forward despite your doubts, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you believed. Each act of courage creates a memory in your body, a record of your strength. And with each memory, your confidence grows deeper, your spirit grows firmer, your presence grows brighter. The journey of fearlessness is also about self-respect. When you choose courage, you begin to set boundaries. You stop tolerating what disrespects you, because you understand that allowing disrespect is not kindness, it is self-betrayal. You learn that saying no is not cruelty, but a declaration that your energy and your time are valuable. You recognize that protecting your dignity is not selfishness, but a necessary act of self-love. This form of fearlessness is not loud or aggressive. It is steady, grounded, and unmovable. It is the calm confidence that does not need to shout to be heard. Think of water flowing through rocks in a mountain stream. The water does not fight aggressively against the stones, yet over time, it shapes the rocks themselves. This is what fearless strength looks like. It does not need to be violent, but it is consistent. It does not need to seek approval, because it knows its own path. It does not ask for permission to exist, because it already exists fully. This is the kind of courage that transforms not only your own life, but also inspires others. When a woman becomes fearless, she creates space for others to do the same. Her presence shows others that strength and softness can exist together. She becomes an example that it is possible to live authentically, without apology, without compromise of the soul. Others may resist her because her courage exposes their own fears. But those who are ready for growth will see her and feel encouraged to rise as well. Fearlessness spreads like fire. One spark becomes two, two become many, until a whole space is lit with strength. The choice to stop being afraid of judgment, rejection, or failure unlocks doors that once seemed sealed shut. Opportunities begin to appear not because the world has suddenly changed, but because your perception has changed. You are no longer blinded by fear, and so you see paths that were always there. You are no longer paralyzed by doubt, and so you walk with steadier steps. Fearlessness is not something you wait to feel, it is something you practice. And with each practice, you reclaim a piece of yourself that fear once stole. To stop being soft in the way that weakens you, to choose strength and fearlessness, is not simply about surviving life. It is about transforming the way you experience it. Strength is not just a shield against difficulties, it is also a source of energy that allows you to create, to build, to inspire. Fearlessness is not only the courage to face storms, it is also the freedom to walk your chosen path without hesitation. When these two qualities come together, they reshape your entire existence. The first transformation that takes place is internal. A strong and fearless woman begins to think differently. She no longer allows her mind to be a prisoner of worry, self-doubt, and constant comparison. She realizes that thoughts are like visitors. They come and go. But she does not need to give them permanent residence. When a negative thought enters, she observes it, questions it, and replaces it with one that empowers her. This inner discipline of the mind is what prevents external challenges from defeating her. Because she understands that most battles are not fought outside, they are fought within the mind. Once the mind is trained, the emotions follow. Strength and fearlessness allow a woman to stop being controlled by temporary emotions. Anger, sadness, disappointment, or fear may still arise, but they no longer dictate her decisions. She experiences them fully, but she does not get lost in them. This is not suppression, it is mastery. To feel deeply without drowning, to remain calm in the presence of chaos, this is the mark of true strength. It is like the eye of a storm, quiet and centered, even while the winds rage around it. This inner mastery creates a new kind of presence in the world. People feel it when such a woman enters a room. She does not need to demand attention. She does not need to prove herself with loudness. Her energy speaks before her words do. Others sense that she cannot be easily manipulated, that she is not desperate for approval, that she has an inner foundation which cannot be shaken. This presence commands respect, not through fear, but through authenticity. It is the kind of presence that shifts the energy of a room simply by being there. From this foundation, action in the outer world becomes powerful. A strong and fearless woman takes risks that others avoid. She applies for the opportunity that others are too doubtful to pursue. She starts the project that others keep postponing. She speaks the truth when silence would be easier. She leads when following would feel safer. Her actions are not reckless, they are intentional. They are guided by clarity, not by fear. And because she moves with clarity, her steps inspire others to move as well. Such a woman also develops the strength to stand alone when necessary. Fear of loneliness keeps many people trapped in relationships, environments, and roles that drain them. But when you cultivate strength, you realize that solitude is not emptiness, it is space. It is the space where you connect with yourself, where you remember your values, where you gather energy before re-entering the world. Fearlessness allows you to walk away from what no longer serves your growth, because you are no longer terrified of being by yourself. And paradoxically, when you are no longer afraid to be alone, you begin to attract healthier and stronger connections. Another transformation is resilience. Life will not stop testing you just because you have chosen strength. Challenges will still come, losses will still occur, pain will still visit. But now, instead of collapsing under the weight, you bend without breaking. You adapt without losing yourself. You recover faster because you trust in your own ability to rise. Each obstacle becomes less of a prison and more of a lesson. Each setback becomes fuel to sharpen your willpower. Resilience is not about avoiding the fall, it is about standing up each time you do. Strength and fearlessness also unlock creativity. When fear no longer rules your decisions, you become free to explore possibilities that once felt out of reach. You begin to dream bigger, to imagine new futures, to create opportunities not only for yourself but for those around you. Fear constricts, it narrows vision, it keeps you small. Courage expands, it opens your vision, it allows you to see abundance where others see limitation. And this creative energy is contagious, it lifts others, it changes environments, it builds communities. Finally, this transformation leads to authenticity. A strong and fearless woman no longer wears masks to be accepted. She no longer twists herself to fit into roles that suffocate her. She embraces who she is fully, both the softness and the strength, the compassion and the fire, the calm and the storm. She understands that true freedom is not found in being what others want, but in being fully herself. And when she lives in this authenticity, she becomes a mirror for others, showing them that they too have the right to live in truth. Strength without awareness can easily turn into hardness, and hardness is not the goal. Fearlessness without wisdom can turn into recklessness, and recklessness is not the path. To cultivate true strength and fearlessness, one must also cultivate balance. Balance between softness and firmness, between compassion and discipline, between openness and boundaries. This is what makes strength noble and fearlessness graceful. Without balance, strength becomes aggression and fearlessness becomes arrogance. With balance, strength becomes support and fearlessness becomes liberation. Balance begins with awareness of your inner world. A woman who cultivates strength knows when to be firm and when to be gentle. She does not close her heart to love or kindness, but she does not allow love to become dependency or kindness to become weakness. She understands that to be strong does not mean to lose tenderness. It means to protect it. Like a warrior who sharpens her sword not to destroy, but to defend what is precious, she sharpens her inner strength to preserve the values that matter most. When balance is present, relationships transform. A strong and fearless woman does not fear losing others, and because of that, she is no longer controlled by the need for approval. She enters relationships as a whole being, not as someone begging to be completed. She gives love freely, but not desperately. She offers support without erasing herself. She stands beside others without losing her own ground. And because she respects herself, she teaches others how to respect her too. The energy she carries creates boundaries without walls, openness without vulnerability to exploitation. Balance also shows itself in how challenges are faced. There are moments when strength requires action, decisiveness, and confrontation. But there are also moments when strength requires patience, silence, and retreat. Fearlessness is not about charging forward blindly into every battle. It is about discerning which battles matter and which are distractions. To cultivate such discernment, one must learn to pause, to observe, to listen inwardly before reacting outwardly. The pause between stimulus and response is where true mastery lies. In that pause, clarity is born, and with clarity comes wise action. Another aspect of balance is the harmony between body, mind, and spirit. A woman who seeks true strength does not neglect her physical body, because the body is the vessel that carries the mind and spirit. She takes care of her health. She builds resilience through discipline. She learns to push her limits, not to punish herself, but to discover her capacity. At the same time, she trains her mind to remain calm under pressure, to see through illusions, to focus on what matters. And she nourishes her spirit with practices that connect her to something larger than herself, whether it is through silence, meditation, prayer, or stillness in nature. When body, mind, and spirit work together, balance becomes unshakable. Balance is also reflected in the way strength is expressed in the outer world. There is a difference between power that dominates and power that uplifts. A fearless woman chooses the second. She does not need to stand on others to rise higher. She rises by lifting those around her. She does not use her voice to silence others, but to speak truth that creates space for others to find their voice as well. Her strength is not about control, it is about influence. Her fearlessness is not about pride, it is about freedom. And this type of presence is not intimidating, it is inspiring. When balance is practiced, even fear takes on a new meaning. Fear is no longer an enemy, but a teacher. It reveals where growth is needed, where courage is required, where healing is unfinished. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, a balanced woman listens to it with wisdom. She asks, "What is this fear showing me about myself? What opportunity is hidden behind this discomfort? What lesson is waiting if I move through it instead of avoiding it?" In this way, fear transforms from a cage into a guide. Balance also prevents the exhaustion that comes when strength is misunderstood as constant struggle. True strength does not mean carrying every burden alone or refusing to rest. It means knowing when to let go, when to ask for support, when to restore your energy. A fearless woman understands that vulnerability is not weakness, but a form of honesty. She does not hide behind a mask of perfection. She allows herself to be seen as human. This honesty is not fragility, it is authenticity, and authenticity is unshakable. In a world that often praises extremes, balance is revolutionary. Many are either too soft and easily broken, or too hard and disconnected from their own hearts. But a woman who chooses balance moves differently. She can be soft without being weak, firm without being cruel, fearless without being careless. She becomes like bamboo, bending in the wind but never breaking, flexible yet strong, grounded yet free. Her strength does not close her, it opens her. Her fearlessness does not distance her from life, it connects her more deeply to it. Life will always test you. The storms will not stop, the obstacles will not disappear, and the challenges will not grow softer simply because you wish them to. But you are not here to live in weakness. You are not here to remain afraid. You are not here to shrink yourself for the comfort of others. You are here to rise. To stop being soft is not to lose your compassion, it is to protect it with strength. To become fearless is not to erase fear, it is to learn how to walk forward with it. A strong and fearless woman is not untouched by pain, but she is never broken by it. She is not free of struggle, but she refuses to be defined by it. She is not louder than others, but her presence speaks louder than any words. The choice is always in your hands. You can continue to live as a prisoner of fear, or you can rise into freedom. You can continue to remain soft in a way that weakens you, or you can cultivate strength that makes you unshakable. You can remain silent, or you can allow your voice, your courage, and your presence to echo into the world. Do not wait for life to become easier. Become stronger. Do not hope for the storm to end. Learn to stand tall within it. Do not wait for permission to live fully. Live fully now. Stop being soft in the way that keeps you small, and choose to become strong, fearless, and free.